And when the question was posed, what then happens to the premiership? Premier Winder said, well, we'll do a premier sharing process. 6 months, 6 months. So I've been given the task to choose who goes first. So be nice to me, both of you. Mr. Till Mansman, the Innovation Commissioner for Green Energy of the Federal Ministry of Education and Research of Germany, who is here with us, an Executive Mayor of Cape Town, where I pay my rates and taxes, lots of them, ambassadors and high commissioners and distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. It does indeed give me great pleasure to welcome you all to this inaugural South Africa Green Hydrogen Summit. It should actually be dubbed the African Continental Green Energy Summit, given that we've got a number of ministers from various countries on our continent, and also given the fact that there's already an alliance that has been put together of a number of countries on our continent who are countries that are going to participate in this green energy revolution. This summit builds on a foundation that was laid by the Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium, which was held in 2021, which highlighted in many ways our country's potential as a global exporter of green energy. But this summit is also taking place soon after the conclusion of COP27, which was held at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt. These gatherings that bring together so many leaders are becoming ever more important, and may I say also urgent, given the devastation that has been caused by the increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather occurrences. Low and medium income countries are most affected by these weather events, but are least equipped to adapt and to deal with the effects of climate change. And they are the least causes of this climate change that we are going through. They contribute the least, and yet they suffer the most. We therefore welcome the commitment at COP27, a commitment which was made to establish a fund to address climate damage suffered by developing economies. This was an important agreement and development because your developing economy countries argued, and very strongly so, that they bear the brunt and the damage of climate change, and yet they've contributed the least. So the establishment of a fund, in my view, is an important milestone and needs to be applauded. Applauded only if those countries that are meant to contribute are going to meet their commitments. And we do hope that this time they will meet their commitments. South Africa used the platform at COP27 to fully outline and elaborate on our own country's just green transition. We released our plan, and we released the plan for public comment, which we dubbed the Just Energy Transition Investment Plan, as the basis of our pathway towards a low-carbon and climate-resilient society. I must say that the plan has been well received by many across our country, and also across the world. According to the plan, South Africa will need approximately $98 billion over the next 5 years to enable a just transition and achieve our ambitious emissions reduction targets. If you work it out at, say, which is not the case at the moment, at 15 rand a dollar, you're talking about 1.4 trillion rand. Green hydrogen is identified in the investment plan as one of the big 4 frontiers. Frontiers because that is where we want to go, of a just energy transition, indicating that it has huge growth and investment potential. But on the back of that, it has enormous job creation potential as well, and an overriding improvement of the economic lives of our people. Globally, the demand for green hydrogen and green hydrogen-based products, such as ammonia and the synthetic jet fuels, is rising significantly around the world. This presents a very unique opportunity for South Africa, and may I add for our continent as well, to link its mineral endowment with its renewable energy endowment to drive industrialization. And as we often say, this is Africa's century. And indeed, these wonderful opportunities are opening up not only for South Africa, for Namibia, and for a number of other countries on our continent. At the same time, this will create jobs, attract investment, bring development to rural provinces and a number of other countries on our continent, and support a just transition from fossil fuels. This summit is therefore an opportunity to tell the South African story in this rapidly growing sector. South Africa is not new to the green hydrogen conversation. The Department of Science and Innovation has been leading research as well as innovation in green hydrogen in South Africa since 2007, as we heard earlier, through Hydrogen South Africa. This was motivated in part by the potential impact that the transition Together, South Africa and Zimbabwe hold over 90% of the world's known platinum group metal reserves. Since 30 to 40% of the supply goes into the production of catalytic converters for internal combustion vehicles, the initial focus of the research was on hydrogen-powered fuel cell electric vehicles as an alternative market to the internal combustion engine vehicle. South Africa has existing and future potential to produce green hydrogen. It is estimated that South Africa has the potential to produce 6 to 13 million tons of green hydrogen as well as derivatives a year by 2050. To do so would require between 140 to 300 gigawatts of renewable energy. The focus would be on green hydrogen exports, electrolyzers and fuel cell production, and the manufacture of green steel, sustainable aviation fuel, ammonia, fertilizers, and renewable energy components. So you're looking at a number of products that can flow out of this new sector. South Africa is, in this regard and many other regards, is an investment destination. Some say of choice, but I say it is a must destination for investment. That's where it is. Now, the country has proven itself as a gateway to a dynamic continent with great prospects. And this term gateway, we haven't just plucked it out of the air. It is often used by many people around the world who say that they see South Africa as the gateway. Yes, the gateway into our continent. Africa is growing its output. It is rapidly urbanizing and has a young population. South Africa leads the continent in advanced manufacturing and science and technology. As we are the most industrialized country on our continent, but we use it to good effect to also bolster the prospects of a number of countries on our continent. This country is a favorable, reliable, and stable place to conduct business. We are driving regulatory and legislative reform to make the South African economy more competitive, to attract more investment so that we can create more jobs. Our country has many inherent advantages that make it internationally competitive in the production of green hydrogen. These include a world-class endowment of both onshore wind and solar irradiation. You already heard that the Northern Cape, which is merging with the Western Cape, and soon it will be with the Eastern Cape to make one gigantic province, is the home of a great heat in our country. South Africa has a supportive legislative environment and experience in deployment of renewable energy, with the largest installed capacity of wind, solar power projects on the African continent. You just need to go to the Northern Cape and just see the whole area, most of it littered with a number of solar as well as wind energy generating projects. Companies like Sasol and Petro SA have expertise in the production of synthetic fuels like diesel, petrol and kerosene, as well as a range of chemical products. That is where capability and expertise resides. South Africa already produces 2.4 million tons of grey hydrogen for domestic consumption. Last year at the Sustainable Infrastructure Development Symposium, we began to profile the remarkable work that a number of large and emerging South African companies are doing in the green hydrogen sector. These include the Bogobai Port and Rail Project, which are fantastic projects that are going to create a number of jobs and attract billions of rands in investment. The project has been under development for over 2 decades and was gazetted as a strategic integrated project in 2020, what we call a SIP. Sasol and the Northern Cape Provincial Government have made significant progress on the master plan for a green hydrogen special economic zone, which aims to support 40 gigawatts of electrolyzer capacity by 2050. This would require approximately 80 gigawatts of renewable energy, which is almost double South Africa's current installed electricity generation capacity. Transnet has issued a request for proposals for the development of the port and rail project, which could see the port developed by 2028. Now, we've heard of the Priska Power Reserve project, and this is a wonderful project which I've heard talked about and have met some of the players. Now, this is being led by Mahlaku Apala, a black women-owned renewable energy developer, and they've made major progress over the last year. And I hope that they are here because they've been doing a great job. Now, this project has already moved ahead. It has received most of the required environmental approvals and its water use license, and has brought the Industrial Development Corporation as an equity partner. Now, another initiative is the development of the Hydrogen Valley that would link the 3 hydrogen hubs of Mogalakwena in Limpopo, Johannesburg, and Durban Richards Bay hub. And that is what Minister de Lille was talking about, linking all these 3 provinces. This initiative is being led by the Department of Science and Innovation and supported by Anglo-American, Bambili Energy, as well as Energy. 9 catalytic projects have been identified as part of this initiative, including the successful demonstration by Anglo-American in May 2022 of the world's first largest mine haul truck to run on hydrogen and fuel cells. And they got me to test drive this vehicle, and I did rather well, I must say. The potential for South Africa to emerge as a significant player in the green hydrogen value is not only immense, it is gigantic. And it is why we have identified green energy sector as one of the key sectors that we are going to proceed with in our just energy transition. This is where a new sector beckons. It calls us to come in with investors or investments, and it is going to yield great results for our country. And we look forward to welcoming more of the firms in the green hydrogen value chain and associated technologies into our market. And I'm really delighted that a number of firms from various countries are represented here. And when we held our initial meeting last year, little did we know that there would be such great interest. And I've heard that just this summit, this conference has been oversubscribed. So many more people wanted to participate, which shows that there's great interest, but it is great interest that is moving towards investments and moving towards implementation. We hope to see a number of your companies partnering with South African firms as we increase our renewable energy footprint, green hydrogen manufacturing capability, and local production of value-added products in our country. Our country is not only determined, it aims to become a world leader in green hydrogen. This is our intention. And it's gone beyond being a dream. It is a reality that we are moving towards. Given all these projects that Minister de Lille was announcing and reading out, we are absolutely certain that we are going to be the leader in the green energy, in hydrogen sector. We are determined to make full use of our substantial endowments as a country to meet the challenges of climate change and to achieve a just transition that we want to see benefiting all our people. And as we say in our country, we want this just transition to leave no one behind. It needs to address the needs of workers. It needs to address the needs of communities that are affected. But more importantly, it also needs to lead to economic development. We must see sub-industries spawning in the areas where we are going to have these projects implemented. And in the end, we want to see these projects leading to job creation. Because you cannot, as Minister Delil was saying, we've already got 300 billion rand committed, and it's going to keep rising and rising, and we cannot invest so much money without it having an impact on job creation. So we're looking forward to a future as part of our just energy transition, accompanied by the other things that we are doing as we implement our economic recovery and reconstruction plan. We're looking forward to more job creation. Just on the just energy transition itself, the green hydrogen beacons, the electric vehicles sector also beckons. And it beckons on some of the challenges that other countries are now having and the ambitions that they have. For instance, we were in the UK recently, and we were told that they are now going to ban the use of petrol and diesel in the next few years to come. We already export vehicles to them, and here an opportunity opens for us as we now, through our just energy transition, have decided that we are going to move into electric vehicles. And great opportunity, not only for one country, but for many other countries. Already, we are a major auto manufacturer in 3 of our provinces, in the Eastern Cape, in KZN, and in Gauteng. And all these provinces, through the workers, have developed great expertise in making high-quality vehicles that we export to many parts of the world and into our own continent as well. So a new flank of economic development is opening up for us. So some people fear this just energy transition, and I say, through this, we will be able to open up new sectors in our economy that are going to create many more jobs. And we are also going to be sending people to various parts of the world to go and see how they have managed their own transition from fossil fuels to renewables. And our plan is so robust that it will be able to enable us to move with a great deal of confidence, a great deal of investment attraction, and a great deal of ensuring that the skills that should underpin our move into all these areas are going to be developed, because young people will be brought in to be key participants in all this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really pleased to be here, and I wish you the best of deliberations. You are trailblazers, you are charting a new path for us, and I want you to be part of this journey as we move forward as South Africa. Thank you very much.